ugh, I hate myself. I hate that joke. I hate everything about myself. I liked myself until I sat on this sofa, and now, oh, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to Couch Surfing, the show where fancy guests look back at their big roles, their little roles, and everything in between. I'm here with comedy legend Chris Elliott. Chris.
Hi, Lola.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good.
You ready to surf?
No, this is okay, here's the thing. I can't stand watching myself.
Did they tell you what the show was about?
They did, and,
Okay.
I said, well, I'll convince Lola just to talk.
Well, you know what? You did. So
Okay,
let's kick
great.
back
So,
and just kick
anyway,
it. So,
what's on TV? Oh, clips of me. Okay, let's see. What do we
this
have?
guy?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh my gosh. The thing about the guy under the seats, Dave would let me do these stupid running characters, and I came up with this idea of doing this guy who lives under the bleachers, and I did it once, and it didn't work, and the reason it didn't work was because I didn't have the hatch there.
Ah.
As soon as I put the hatch there and the audience could see themselves on the monitor,
Yes.
they all went crazy no matter what I did.
It actually holds up.
For who?
For me.
You?
I'm genuinely entertained. Guess who's up next?
This is not uncomfortable at all.
No way.
No, let's see some more of me.
It's all about you, baby.
Oh my God. Okay.
Who's that?
Oh my God. That's the No Chin Wonder. Is his name. Wow. Okay, The Abyss. This is The Abyss.
This is The Abyss.
And
you hadn't really done anything serious up until this time, mostly
Right.
comedy.
Right.
So why were you eager to move into this lane?
I'll tell you why. There was a writer's strike going on. So late night was on hold for a while, and I auditioned for this movie. I auditioned for the guy who has the little rat in the movie. Todd Graff got that part. But James Cameron liked me, so he had me come down there, and then he was actually writing my part, my lines, in the morning on a piece of paper and handing them to me.
Really?
Yeah, and we were shooting it that way.
Oh, he can be tricky, so the fact that he was actually nice to you is
He
impressive.
was an ogre to lots of people, and for some reason he really liked me.
So any chance you're going to show up as a Navi in one of like thousands of Avatar?
I don't think so, because
that are coming out?
I went on Letterman and I made fun of my appearance in The Abyss, and right before he had to come out and promote it. So I think,
No way.
yeah, I think that ended my relationship with James Cameron.
Have you spoken to him since?
No, no. And before that, and it's absolutely true, before that he said, let's do a comedy together one of these days.
Is there anything you'd like to say to him today?
I'm sorry.
Maybe you can paint each other naked, and that's how you make up. You can be the Jack.
I got
to
a
his
lot of
Rose.
problems with the Titanic. Don't get me started. If you got clips of that. I'm really good at being critical about other people's work, but not my own, which is just perfect.
Well, the good thing is we're talking or we're not watching clips.
That is making me really happy. But go ahead, show something else. Ugh. Oh my God. This is Get a Life. That's my real dad.
That is your real father.
Fox, the network that this was on, never really understood the show.
How did you pitch it to them
Well,
initially?
kind of like they were going to get sort of like a Tom Hanks Big kind of thing, an adult with the mind of a child.
Okay.
And they didn't get that. They got, you know, just an insane guy. But they were constantly trying to get a real moment between me and my father into the show, because they thought that's what the show needed, some reality, a real moment. So we would put in things like that where I actually had to hug my dad and then give him an insult to throw out at me, which would totally negate their note. Believe me, that's the story of Groundhog Day. Here we go.
Okay, so this is an unquestionable classic. I need your best Harold Ramis memory.
We went out to dinner once, and he told me, I told him that Saturday Night Live to me was like the cool show. And when I first started working for Dave, I thought, well, it's going to be my stepping stone to Saturday Night Live. But he said, you know, the feeling up there, and certainly with him, was that Dave was the cool show, you know, and I thought that was sweet for him to say that to me. He was such a kind and sort of also kind of a George Harrison type personality, you know, just a real peaceful kind of guy. It's a great movie, still holds
and it's
up.
actually considered a really spiritual film as well.
Well, there's some reincarnation, I guess, rebirth kind of things going on there.
It's a meditation on life.
Yeah, for me, it's a meditation on gynecomastia, which is the enlargement of male breasts. Because if you look at me in that sweater, I really, oh my God, how embarrassing. I think I really started doing some push-ups after that.
Welcome back to Couch Surfing. I'm still here with Chris Elliott. Chris,
Yes.
you ready to keep surfing?
No.
Come on.
Okay.
All right.
You look good.
Yeah.
Except
This
for the rashness.
something about Mary still holds up. I think. I think it's still
Definitely.
a funny movie.
Definitely.
It's like.
Wait, how does one achieve that look in hair and makeup? How long does it take? Do you have to worry about continuity as you're filming? How does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. They had to take photos of where each boil was each day. And they had to determine which were mine and which were makeups. I think I like hiding behind things like that, like
that's something to
makeup.
hide behind.
That is something to hide behind. And look at that overacting there for you, chewing up the screen. This is why I can't. I have a hard time. And I'm talking about her, not me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, God. All right, I'm apologizing right now.
Why?
For oh my gosh. Oh Lord.
You can see the Wayans brothers trying not to break.
They
Each of them around the table are trying desperately not to break,
They-
and they're failing miserably.
they pretty much did just let me go for a while and do whatever I wanted to. The nice thing about this that I will never forget is that they had a lot of problems with the prosthetic arm that I had there.
Really? Why?
Well, because it just didn't look right the first few times we were shooting.
Okay.
And I had it in my deal that after a certain amount of days, I started getting paid extra if they brought me in for more days than I was contracted for.
Really?
And they were such a big budget. This was Scary Movie 2. There was a huge budget, and they would, if the arm didn't look perfect, they would send me home for the day and make the special effects guys work on it, and that just, you know, bought me another paycheck. And I was like, so every day I came to work, I just hope that arm doesn't work. I just hope the arm doesn't work, and I would put it on and go, I don't know, it's still not quite there. This is Schitt's Creek. And that's when Eugene and I actually go out to dinner together. That's
Really?
pretty much what it looks like.
So he stars with his real life son. You work with your kids. Do you guys ever compare notes about what it's like to work with your children, your offspring?
I don't. I haven't yet. And I've worked with my dad on Get a Life, which was, for me, kind of difficult. It felt like, you know, when your dad showed up at school or your parents showed up at school or something. I was always on my best behavior when he was on the set. And my kids, I think they've seen me be such a, you know, goofball around the house that when we shot Clara's Ghost, there was no, ooh, Dad's doing that. I think, you know, they had seen worse.
Speaking of Clara's Ghost.
Yes. Well, that I'm happy to see a clip of.
I say family, what does it mean to you? Any of you can answer.
Hey, Joe. Yeah. When you ordered the Chinese food, did you get 2 orders of sesame chicken? We play a family of actors who are pretty, you know, egotistical and not, you know, the nicest people in the world, and are the matriarch of the family. Right there is my real wife, Paula.
And you've been married for more than 30 years.
Yes.
You met at Letterman. So that's your real life wife.
Yeah.
Those are your real life daughters.
Yeah.
Bridie directs.
Yes, and
Abby-
wrote it.
And she wrote it as well.
Yeah.
Abby co-stars.
Yep, yep.
And it's a true family affair.
It is.
And that's your real life house as well.
That is our real life house,
This is where
which
you live.
I think inspired Bridie a bit because it's a Gothic Victorian house. It's kind of, we always collected antiques, and it's kind of a scary house. We wanted our children to be, you know, pretty much frightened all through their childhood. So we lived in this, and Bridie says she was, about what's behind the corners in the house.
Chris, thank you so much for being here. Clara's Ghost is out now on Amazon and on iTunes. See you next week on Couch Surfing.